Hello there, everyone. It is Tarot Tuesday. All right, so we have a few things here. This is a different kind of reading, obviously. If you haven't been able to see what kind of reading this is, I'm layering out major concepts in this area right here that's going to be guiding us not only through the week but the month. All right, so these, at the end of all of this is going to be the grand lesson that we were supposed to be learning right now. As always, take what serves you, take what doesn't. If you're watching this, years down the line, time and space is an illusion. If you're watching this right now, it's because you're supposed to be watching it. All right, so just go with the flow and see what happens. In our last reading, we were with the mist. We knew that there was something in front of us that was kind of like fogging our way forward. All we had to do was really focus on allowing ourselves to see through the mist by staying diligent and focusing on ourselves. And then they said that the next week was going to be all about the Arrows card, which is a surge of energy or aggressiveness. This energy can be charged towards any goal. Achieving your goals is a desire that you have, and with this energy you will be able to do it in the shortest amount of time possible. It's important to set a goal. Unnecessary trouble can be created when you're greedy, so take care and stay focused. That is exactly what that card is telling us all about. This week I have been feeling so super productive. Like yesterday I woke up, and on Sunday I woke up and I got so much stuff done and I had gotten it done by the time it was like 9:30 in the morning. And I felt like I hadn't looked at the clock the whole entire time, and I had just felt like, oh man, like I've been doing this for a while. It must be like 3 o'clock in the afternoon. It was only 9:30. That surge of energy is definitely happening for me since Sunday. Yesterday I did the same exact thing. And today I woke up. It's all of 8 o'clock in the morning right now, and I decided to do this right here for you guys. So it's real. So then we're going to look directly right here first, okay? The song card. The song card is telling us that right now this week is all about joy, harmony, and the healing energies that we can provide ourselves. So very cool stuff. Like this week, you want to be focusing on healing yourself. Particularly the song is tied to your throat chakra. And you're going to see that next week, we're going to flush right over here. Well, bam. The shadow. So the shadow particularly is always telling us that there's something that we're not really paying attention to, and that if we're not paying attention to it, it can cause some sort of trouble. But the answer has been definitely in front of our faces the whole entire time. The reason and the solution of the problem, which is unknown, will come to be in short time. Just follow your intuition and front the problem. Just make sure that you always avoid poor and unpleasant things. All right. So this week is all about happiness. So soak that in. Love yourself. Give yourself all of that energy. Really focus on your throat chakra, healing your throat chakra. We know that the shadow is obviously still connected to the throat chakra. So, it's really interesting because last week, if you picked deck B, I think it was trust, right? We had to trust ourselves and our intuition, trusting our third eye. But trust is also tied to truth, and truth is tied to the throat chakra. So a lot of us right now are going through this period of understanding something more profound within ourselves. And it's really important to just kind of go with the flow when that happens, because if you don't, you end up, causing yourself a little bit of strife, and you stunt your growth overall. Sorry, my English today is just off. There are certain days I wake up and my English is gravy, and then other days my brain is still like, nope, we're just gonna speak in Spanish today. We're not gonna be using any English, and I get really, really cluttered. All right, so then we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna look right over here, the shaman deck, which is 3, right? 3 of drums, which is rhythm. It's telling us about an evolution of a situation that has been stalling, opportunities, and deadlines, okay? So if it right now is a moment for you to act, right? We have to get our stuff done this week. We want to stay really focused. We're going to look at the Native American deck right here. That is the Weaver, and it's tied to 14. So 14 in Antojai Alchemy is tied to a dimension that is purely concentrated on the angels and love, like the highest angels, seraphims, cherubims, right? And it's really hard to attain this chakra, but the easiest way to bring that chakra into our reality is by existing right now in love, right? And why am I bringing that up? Because the 14, not only is 14 telling us that you're manifesting everything, everything's going great, chillax. We also have a 3 over there, which that 3 is telling us, hey, the masters are with us, right? So the Weaver also tells us about wisdom. So the wisdom, right? Wisdom's also tied to the throat chakra, okay? So we have wisdom, we have happiness, we have the shadow. That's all throat chakra energy. And then we see that next week, when we walk into the next week that we're going to open, it's a blue dice, which again is the throat chakra, all right? Because next week is going to be about the massive shifts that we're going to be making. All right, this is really interesting how it's all layered out. Now, remember what I said about the heart here, the mantra for this card on the heart. Now, let's look in the center here. Last month we had Moses, and it was talking about taking charge of the situation. And then we had power of 7 scorpions from the Isis deck, which was telling us, you know, that right now we're using lower density energies to really bring ourselves higher, and that sometimes we should be using lower density energy, not just a higher density, because the universe is, you know, high and low, positive and negative. Like, you need to be able to play with a full spectrum of alchemy. We had Hilarion, who was telling us the truth sets me free. Sounds like another throat chakra thing. And then we had the Dolphin with another major card leading us with the 4-0 and telling us about being true with our own expression, having like body movements, like being able to like embrace our DNA, our spiritual DNA, by being authentic and happy with ourselves, right? Very cool energy. So before we dive down here, we're gonna look over here first. So I re-rolled this dice. This dice last week was over here. This week, this dice is telling us we're still gonna be dealing with a lot of Neptune energy, subconscious magical energies. It's going to bring us towards ascension, it's going to bring us wisdom, and it is going to bring us an evolutionary state, all right? Last week, it was also that same energy, and this energy is what's really ruling our existence for the whole entire week, all right? So this one's right here for the solar plexus. We're going to be very, very subconscious. This week's all about ascension. Particularly, we want to make sure that that's what our main goal is to this week. Now let's go ahead and flip over 2 cards. We're going to start off with the Temple of Lapis Lazuli. Interesting how lapis lazuli is also tied to the throat chakra, and how lapis lazuli forces us to find our inner wisdom that then can form the highest level of alchemy outside of ourselves. Very, very cool synchronicities happening this week. Now, the Temple of Lapis Lazuli actually does exist, okay? And I'm not sure if we've gone over other temples that have come up in the Isis deck, but there's a Temple of Black Obsidian, a Temple of Carnelian, a Temple of Amethyst, and the hardest part about these temples is like actually getting inside of them. Because, like, for instance, the Temple of Lapis Lazuli will allow you to step into it, but it's based off of your own internal wisdom. Lapis Lazuli will only respond to your internal wisdom and what your internal wisdom is looking for. In order for you to be able to step into the Temple of Lapis Lazuli, and you can do this through a meditation. You can sit down and say, okay, I want to go to the Temple of Lapis Lazuli. Let the cosmos take you in that direction, and then all of a sudden you'll end up at this really cool blue building, or like rockish kind of temple. When you go in there, it only will respond based off of legit questions that you have, that you know that you're looking for. And you have to have a certainty of your question. Like, you already know about this question, or you have confidence in your question. You ask a question, and then you get the truth based off of that question. That's all tied to authenticity. That's what our own wisdom is our own authenticity. And last week we were being told to get rid of some negative energies. Last week we were told to, like, you know, trust ourselves. Last week we were told to write, right? And I've definitely been writing since last week. I've posted a couple articles out there, and it's definitely helped me. I definitely have listened. I definitely felt it. I've been trusting my intuition. I definitely know what's going on now. I'm going with the flow. I love every moment of it. I'm feeling gratitude for every moment of that, and I'm keeping it moving. Now this is where it's gonna get, again, interesting. We have the Ascended Master card. Woof. All right, so Ganesha, or Ganesh. Ganesh is the Hindu god of knowledge, of education, of goals. A lot of students pray to him. I definitely in college had a huge tapestry on top of my living room, and it was so beautiful. I wish I still had it. And it was all about Ganesha, and I would sit there and I would meditate, and Ganesha would literally talk to me and tell me, you should study this and this and this next, because that's going to be on the test. Or he would be like, you shouldn't focus on this, you should focus on this, because this is what's going to actually get you to your next objective. Okay, so right now that card is saying yes. All right, first of all, yes to ascension, yes to understanding the things of the lapis lazuli temple, which is knowing your own inner truth, inner authenticity, and running with that, focusing on the goal and going after the goal with the arrow card. All right, it's a time right now for your rhythm, so you can accomplish your goal and meet your deadlines with the shaman card deck. Then we have that card over there, the Weaver in my Native American deck, which is telling us all about being within wisdom, using our heart. We have the Song card telling us all about how we're happy right now and how this moment is for us to be sharing it with our friends and our family and enjoying that. Very, very interesting things that are happening as we look at how these cards are all interacting, right? So this week, this is what we're focusing on. And if you've been questioning something, Ganesha tells you yes. This is one of the things that I really love about this Ascended Master deck right here, is that you could be, it talks to you. It talks to you with an open heart. It really does. And it's telling you, if you've been questioning something, yes. Like, the answer is yes. It doesn't matter if you have been wondering about someone or your own self or the goals that you're going after. Whatever that question is, Ganesh is telling you yes. All right. So what's been my question? My question is, am I going to reach? Sometimes I stop and I ask, like, am I going to reach my goals on time, right? Which is such a human thing. And that's one of the things that, if you've heard another podcast of me and Shay sitting down together, she's like, that's one of your issues. Like, I know how to bend time when I need to. I know how to do all that stuff. But sometimes, you know, I get so sucked into my projects that I actually start thinking more humanly. And then time starts trying to creep itself back in. And it's going to happen to you. So that's why I highlight it. So what's really interesting about all of this is, like, okay, if there's that question for me, am I going to meet it by my deadline? Yes, obviously. Okay, I'm going to stop freaking out about questioning whether or not it's going to happen, right? Stop questioning it. Whatever that question was, you have your answer. Ganesha told you. And then here, I don't know if I reviewed the second card that was supposed to come out this month, because I had read all the previous cards in the center deck. It was interesting because last week we had Moses, and this week we have Jesus, which is like, open your heart to love, right? Open to your heart to love, right? Okay, so cool. And remember, love always brings happiness. I want you to pick deck A, deck B, or deck C. And while you do that, I'll just wait. Where am I feeling? Ooh, I'm in the middle. Oh, I got a little bit of everything in every deck I'm feeling right here. One of the ones that is really, like, highlighting itself. I first see these two decks highlighting themselves to me, and then all of a sudden, after I see that, I see that deck highlighting itself again. The one that's clearest is this deck. So I'm going to go with B, because that's how I feel like I'm being spoken to. Ready? All right. So remember, this whole entire month, the same rune is going to stay in place, which is fate. So things are not going to be really much changing. All right, so let's go to deck A, right? So the first thing we see is the dice of Neptune, of Venus. So right now, you're going to be experiencing, and this is going to actually go for this deck and this deck. So listen up if you picked A and C. The same energy is ruling both of those decks, which is just working at a different level, all right? For those of you in deck A, this energy is really going to be hitting your third eye and some of your sacral. In deck C, you're going to be hitting a lot of that energy in your sacral and some of it in your third eye, all right? So you have Venus controlling your energy centers, okay? Underneath that is the moon. So you're going to be confronting something in your subconscious that has to do with love and relationships and how you interact with other people, maybe how you've understood love up until this point. It's going to take you towards an adventurous moment in your life, which creates movement, but it's going to be difficult, all right? Because you guys have Mars on one end, Moon on the other, and then you have Uranus on the other, okay? So kind of just pay attention. You're being ruled by love energy this month. And the cards wanted to play an extra game, which we're going to see how they work out in just a little bit, okay? First thing we're going to look at first. If you picked deck A, it's a moment for you to have serious cultivation, okay? And a lot of change is happening because it's number 5. Whatever it is that you've been manifesting is obviously coming your way. Don't you stop moving, all right? Don't you stop moving. All right, so I'm going to take these two. They're telling me to wait for just 1 second. We're going to look at the energy cards first. So we have the sleep card. It's telling us you have to know when to say you need to relax, okay? And if you don't start relaxing, you're going to start creating mental clutter, a cloud of emotions and mental stagnation. So if you have not seen the solar plexus quantum tarot healing, the quantum tarot healing for the solar plexus is all about the cloud card, all right? So I definitely want you to watch that. And if you haven't seen the quantum tarot healing for relaxation, you can also watch that one because that's all about the sleep card. Pay attention. This is why I started creating those series, so not only they could help people out in the real world, but they could amplify your healing. So now what you're stepping into is an Antojai Quantum Tarot healing with me, all right? You guys are starting to understand the base of whatever is happening with you in your readings, and now you have the opportunity to go and review those particular cards for yourselves, okay? And have them heal you to align these energies or declutter these energies. And then we have the sword card, which tells us again about truth, pursuing the highest truth possible. And we are on a quest for truth. The throat chakra, I don't know about you guys, but it's real clear what we're supposed to be doing right now. So here again, we have this quantum tarot card healing out and about. It's a throat chakra healing. You can literally, if you picked deck A, you can literally go on the YouTube channel, make sure you're subscribed to it, and watch each one. Relaxation, solar plexus, throat chakra. Have them heal you. You're going to amplify your whole entire cultivation, all right? So the game that the masters wanted to play with us was last week, the cards that we had in our deck. If you don't remember, hopefully it'll trigger something. If you pick the same deck with the same card, you're exactly in alignment. If you did not, then you're slightly off of the main goal, but we can always readjust ourselves, right? And sometimes you don't always want to go back to the same goal. So let's see. The first card was Thoth, right? Nice. All right, so if you picked Thoth last time, you definitely know that he's out and about today and you are in divine alignment. I definitely was feeling Thoth last time and I was gravitating towards this. So I feel like all the decks had something to say to me today, but we'll see once we dive into the other ones. Right? And then we have Amaterasu, which tells us, come out of the closet. Ooh, and she ain't telling you about, like your sexuality, girl. You need to calm down. Sometimes you're in the closet because you don't want to speak your truth, right? And definitely that's what we're all about this month, right? Speaking your truth, becoming real with yourself. The hardest part, I just literally made an Instagram episode, is like the hardest part sometimes about accepting truth is the fact that that when you find your truth, the truth can be harsh sometimes, and it makes you feel a certain kind of way. But there's nothing wrong with you accepting your truth, because it is what it is, right? All right, deck B. We have Uranus energy controlling everything, Moon energy, Venus energy, and a descending node. What is descending? And I definitely felt gravitated to everything, but I still felt gravitated to this. So let's find out what that's all about. Ooh, so there's some sort of pattern inside of us, some sort of habitual pattern that does not serve us, all right? And we need to let go of that pattern because it is not favorable for us, and it's coming from the heart chakra. It's some sort of problem that stems from a love center, and it's forcing us to descend. So right now, if you felt a high resonance towards deck B, then you know that you have to kind of work on your heart chakra, maybe focus on love a little bit. And I mean, you guys have heard my podcast, you know that sometimes it's one of my issues, so that's not too surprising. I know how to get out of that. And that's the mentality you have to have. The earthy card. Okay, remember, foundations are key here. You need to pay attention to foundations. I definitely picked that card last week. So I'm focusing on my foundations. I have certain tendencies that work against me. Okay, I understand that. We understand that. The earthy card is also lots of grounding energy. Not only just foundation, but grounding those things that don't work with us. The earthy card is also connected in certain levels of alchemy with the heart chakra. Very good stuff. The change card, that one's tied to the 11th energy and 11th dimensional energy, and that one's basically telling us all about something's got to change right now. If you don't change that, it's going to work against you. We cannot be stagnant. Time is to react and move right now, okay? Then the third card that comes out is the fiery card, another card that came out last week. Well, the fiery card's a great card, first of all. I'm not going to even go anywhere too far away from that because it's all about creating new things. Fire and earth are also elements that heavily go well with each other, okay? If you're in feng shui, the fire element of the house will get stimulated not only by wood but also by earth. If you're dealing with qigong, usually the earth is supplemented by fire. In certain senses, they kind of cohesively destroy and recreate within each other. This is all good. This is all whatever. This right here is your sacral chakra. So even though we're focusing on our heart chakra, we're also going to be focusing on our sacral chakra. Not bad energies here, just there's some sort of habit there that needs to be moved out of the way. So if you were dealing with some sort of repetitive habit from last week, know that you pretty much have come close to deleting it. And let's see what happens. The next card is the Twin Flame card. If you picked this card out last week, all right, then, and and it's talking literally about the same problem that we were talking about last time. Great, it's working out. It's just fine. You're moving forward. Just don't get stuck. Continue to change. There's a habit that's inside of you that needs to be worked out. You can do it. Just find it and get rid of it, all right? Take another deep breath. And then we have Buddha, which tells us to meditate. And I mean, how much more obvious could that get, just to literally meditate, because we have all these other energies working around us. Sorry, my hair is all in the way. All right, so we have all that energy around us. Good. All right, so now let's see deck C. We already talked about the energy that's ruling all of it. Deck C, it's all about a happy family right now. Good job. Really good, really good. All right, so let's see what else is happening. with these energy cards. We're going to start off with the power card. Awesome. The power card is telling us that we have all the energy right now to manifest and complete our goal, and that we have a wish that is going to be fulfilled. It will be fulfilled. All you have to do is keep chugging away at it. You have nothing to worry about when it comes to the energy that's about to come your way. You deserve it. It's all yours. You are protected. Don't you dare worry about whether or not you are protected. The protection card, the shield card, actually was released today as well. So you can definitely check that card out. And it'll give you another amplified quantum tarot healing in just a little bit. Later this week, later this month, you're also going to see these two be released as well, along with the twin card. So the twin card is all about, all right, if you're not dealing with twin flame, then you're dealing with an aspect of yourself, like your yin and your yang. And right now, they're in a great place to cooperate and bring out amazing results in your life. So take advantage of that, because a lot of times our yin and our yang are not willing to be cooperative, and they can cause a ton of havoc, whether it's mental illness or you cannot get anything done. It will happen from time to time, but right now it's a great time. They're in love with each other, and it's going to be really amplifying all the energy that's going on. And this month I'm going to be diving into heavy Egyptian alchemy from my Pharaoh lifetime in the researchers section of Patreon, so definitely check that out. We have these two master cards, and let's see who we got. Trust, girl. If you picked trust last time with Vishnu shows up twice this week, okay? In deck B, Vishnu shows up as his incarnation as Buddha, and in deck C, Vishnu comes out with trust. All right, very interesting. Trust yourself. And the next card is clear and shield your energy, El Mora. Okay, so I mean, we had the protection card in deck C already, so in that episode I released this morning, you might as well check that out and work with that. And focus with people on deck C. I would say just focus, again, it's your throat chakra, right? So focus on kind of putting a shield around your throat chakra with the quantum energies that you may have learned from any one of my sections, depending on whatever I've taught you. Go ahead, embrace that, use that to your advantage. You have great energy going for all of you. All right, if you picked a little bit of everything like I did, I definitely felt like right now those two were my energies that were really guiding me, but this was the most pertinent message for me at this moment. So I know everything had a little bit of something for me, and I can feel that. Like if I ask, okay, did any of these cards have a little bit of something for me? Totally, because these two decks were highlighted because I was told right and trust, right? And I know for a fact that I've been cultivating things, and I've been also, in an energy of love, right? But then here, this deck right here is telling me about you still have something though inside of you that needs to be worked out, and it has to do with your foundations and rebirthing all this extra stuff anew. All right, so kind of like use that energy to rebirth yourself. And if you picked a little bit of everything, just work on your problem. What is your problem? Like meditate with that and just be like real with myself. Last week someone asked about soul flames. Soul flames are a being that is in complete resonance with your soul. All right, your twin flame is saying that if you had a soul and it got fragmented into yin and yang, then that other person you need to find so that they complete you. It's almost like you're twins to a soul. The two of you create a soul. All right, not everybody has a twin flame. Not everyone wants a twin flame. Some twin flames are born right off the bat as twins with each other, and that's why they really develop themselves like that. Other twin flames are developed around the world, and one person can be like Japan, the other one can be in Spain, and with time you guys find each other. Naturally you gravitate towards your wholeness, right? A soul flame is someone that comes from the same level of understanding as your soul, but is not necessarily your twin. You don't need them to complete you. There's nothing that you need. They're much more so like a counterpart towards you, and a counterpart being like maybe a reflection or a teammate that's lived the same kind of like experiences as you. Shay is essentially a soul flame, a counterpart. Both of us live our lives like we don't need the other one whatsoever for anything, because we both know how to manifest and take care of our missions. We know what our missions are, and we know where we're gonna go with it. But at the same time, every time we hang out with each other, it's like this amplitude of magic, and it becomes addicting, but yet also like overwhelming. And then we literally can only hang out with each other for about a week, because it's so much intense energy, and we don't stop channeling. That is what a soul flame is like. So I've definitely met a twin flame, and you can meet a twin flame up until the moment that you're like, okay, I understand the lessons of this twin flame, and you can evolve into being one with yourself. Ultimately, a twin flame is karma that you want to take care of. A twin flame is usually also known as an X in another platform of reality, whether it's another lifetime or another dimension. And depending on your relationship with that person is whether or not you guys have to deal with karma in this lifetime, because nothing is ever lost, everything is always repeated. So it's kind of like important when you start understanding these things about karma, that you kind of really do judge on a day-to-day basis, like, do you want to cause somebody harm? Because if so, and they really harbor that negativity and they want retribution and they can't get retribution for it in this lifetime, you're screwed. You have to then step into another incarnation and deal with that, right? And that's the power of being conscious. Like, that's what the Law of One has been telling us in last week's readings, is that when you step into fifth dimensional consciousness, you understand that you have a responsibility to carry the Law of One and to be the Law of One. And if you're not doing that, then you are then not in harmony with fifth dimensional consciousness. Knowledge is power, and with great power comes great responsibility, right? So just a few things you want to like pay attention to. If you've been on any of these decks, if you have inclination more to one or more to the other, that's fine. Everyone's in a good area of energy. Doesn't matter which deck you ended up picking, especially if we were still stuck on the twin flame stuff from last week. Like, you just keep meditating. You're about to pull yourself out. Just get rid of this addictive quality, all right? That addictive quality is not going to help you at all. It's just going to really limit you, and I know exactly how I have to take care of that. Obviously, through my meditation, it's going to help, but pay attention to all that. This is Ascended Master Antojai. Tell me how you feel about this reading. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Don't forget to share the channel with your friends. Motivate them to come on and keep pace. If you are looking for amplifying your energy healing, definitely, if you had the cards available and you were told what cards to pick out, definitely go after those cards. Have them heal you. I love you. I'll talk to you later.